Look up, Ragiroth, do what?
Ragiroth Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here with another Injustice 2 character release breakdown video. This one, I could say I've been waiting for this one. I've probably mentioned in a couple of videos, I was kind of upset about not doing a reaction video on Black Manta's trailer, which came out a little while ago. And why? Because it was friggin' amazing. That trailer almost made me forget that Raiden is in the game and Spawn still isn't in the game yet. That's how cool he looked. And having played as him now, I basically feel the same. I've always been fascinated by Black Manta. I've always seen him pop up in some of the cartoons since I was a kid, and I've always been, I always knew he was an Aquaman villain, due to his aquatic theme, I guess, and I've always been fascinated by his cool design, cool yet quirky design. Look at that boy's head. Look at Stewie Griffin. Yeah, and I really wanted him in Injustice, since the first one. He was one of the few characters I was very disappointed in making. I kind of thought he was a shoo-in. Aquaman's not my favorite character, but he's a very iconic major superhero, and I think he deserves to have as one of his villains in the game. And when the Injustice 2 was first revealed, I'm like, oh, I thought Black Manta had a really good shot. But then the first trailer shows Black Manta as a stage transition, and other characters that were stage transition in the first one never made it as playable. Martian Manhunter didn't count because he wasn't really a stage transition, he was just in the background. Thankfully, I guess, one of my other most wanted characters, Atrocitus, was basically announced at the same time, so I think that kind of took away some of the sting, no pun intended, of Black Manta not being playable. But I was, very happy to see that, they're being more open-minded and not just being like, oh, well, there's stage transitions that can be playable, and made him playable. So, he came out today. I played him a bit, and he's probably one of my favorite characters in the game. He's probably one of my new mains. I think he's probably going to be one of my mains, when he made it in the game regardless, but, they did a fantastic job with him. I just love the way he fights, his intro, his outro. I'm not the only one that thinks that was his outro. His outro is actually probably one of the most beloved things about him in this game, where he walks away from the camera with a fiery background. I think that, he basically captured everything he can do using up-close combat with knives, harpoon gun, trident, I-beams, jetpack, using some water. They basically captured everything. He's I think a lot of us thought he was going to be another far-range character, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. There's a little bit much in this game, but thankfully that is not the case with Black Manta. Okay, yes, he has projectiles, but he's more of a mid-range, close-range character, which I really like. I tend to be pretty good with mid-range kind of characters. But I had a blast playing with him for I went through arcade mode with them, and I did some multiverse with them, and I actually got lucky, and I actually got one of the shaders, the black and white one. I think it's called Nemo or something, Leader of Nemo or something like that. And I used that in the multiverse. But no, I think he played very well. And he has a very savage combat style. For those that don't know, Black Manta is a character that I think, from what I can tell, he friggin' hates Aquaman. He fucking hates him. Basically, I think because while he did not directly kill Black Manta's father, I think his neglect, kind of got him killed, and he could have saved him. Something like that. The origins are totally different. They change all the time. But I think that's what they were kind of going with this game, I think. He's just a really merciless, brutal mercenary. I kind of like to see him as kind of water Deathstroke, if that makes sense. However, I'd actually maybe say he's worse than Deathstroke, because Deathstroke, I think, he mostly just does stuff, for money. Black Manta, he'll do stuff for his own, personal evil and all that, good stuff. Probably has one of the most brutal moveset in the game, for a game that's not rated M, especially. He fit right in with Mortal Kombat. His moveset also kind of reminds me of a mix of like Kano, or there's another character I know in Mortal Kombat that I know used like kind of dual weapons. I can't think of it right now, but oh, and definitely the cyborgs, more so Sector and maybe Smoke. Smoke with a harpoon move, and Sector with the missiles and the teleport punch, even though it's more of a water punch, water uppercut. Yeah, he actually really reminds me of Sector, which is fine with me because I love the cyborgs, especially Sector and Smoke. His gear, I mean, I haven't got much of it, but there was some of it previewed that looked pretty awesome, and I was lucky to get the black and white one. I mean, his shaders don't blow me away. I was gonna say 2 nitpicks I had with him were I know Black Manta sometimes uses these like arm blades. I think they're called like katars, not guitars. And unfortunately, he doesn't really use that in the movesets. We don't really have a character that uses like arm blades like that. And it would have been nice, but it's not a huge deal. I guess because they function so similarly to like the knives he uses. And one other nitpick I had, well, I think it's actually really cool that some shaders like that changes like the colors of his lights on his suit actually changes the color of his eye beams, which I think is so awesome. The only issue is, unfortunately, is that I think there's not really that much variety of them in the shaders. Like, I kind of thought when they showed that there'd be like, almost every shader would have a different light, but most of them are like red, orange, or yellow. Like, I think that's one of the cool things about the black and white one, is that it's one of the only ones with like a white light. I was kind of hoping it'd be like a one with a green light, but hopefully they'll update his shaders, or give him 1 or 2 more that maybe will have like a green light or some other one that isn't represented. It's honestly, I mean, really my only 2 issues with him. I mean, I guess gameplay wise, I mean, he felt pretty good to me. Again, I'm not really a competitive person, so I don't really know the complex, more in-depth stats of his moves. I guess maybe he didn't do a high amount of damage, because he's such a fast, close-range character. But yeah, I mean, he was pretty easy for me to pick up and play. I mean, his trait is, I guess, a little hard to use. It's like a jetpack, and it's not like where you instantly like fly in the air like Ermac or Hawkgirl or one of them. It kind of depends on like how much you hold the button, which I actually kind of think is neat. It was just a little hard to use in combat, but I guess it made him kind of unique. Just funny because one of my only real experiences with Black Manta in comics is when I read Brightest Day. Like, Aquaman is revealed to be brought back to life, and Black Manta has actually kind of resigned being a super villain. But when he finds out that Aquaman's back, he basically just becomes a super villain again and just friggin' wastes a couple of these poor fishermen with his eye lasers. But I'm really happy to see him in the game. I don't really know what else. I guess I was going to mention that I don't know if for any that don't know, apparently they are working on gear for Green Arrow to actually have a hood, which I think is really cool. Can I just do it for Black Adam, please? And apparently I know they've added new, classes of gear called Legendary Gear, where they have their own multiverses for, which I think is pretty neat. It's just a shame it's only for accessories, and the character has to be level 20. I think I only have like 1 or 2 level 20 characters, to be honest. I think Black Manta is, in my opinion, one of the coolest characters in the game. He might be one of my best. I also think it's fitting because I don't hate Aquaman. I'm just like Aquaman. However, I friggin' hate fighting him. And of course, I know some people that use him. No offense to Aquaman or people that use him. He's just a pain for me to fight. And I think it's actually fitting that I really like, and I'm good with a character that, hates him. So I definitely would like to use him against people that play as Aquaman, see how I do. But I would definitely recommend trying him out or buying him. I think he's one of the coolest characters in the game. And as I expected, he seems like he's probably, in my opinion, the best part of the new fighter pack. I'm sure maybe Hellboy will impress me. Raiden's going to have to work really hard to do that. They're going to really have to sell me on that. But he definitely, is a silver lining in this not that exciting pack for me, at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to do videos on Raiden and Hellboy. More so Raiden. I think I would like to do the Hellboy one. It's not as much just that, oh, I'm not that excited for Raiden and all. It's more so that I'm assuming he's the next one coming out. He'll be coming out in October, and there's a lot going on in October for me personally and things I want to do, video-wise and game-wise. So, an already unexciting thing coming out for the game might just be kind of pushed even farther down just because of what's going on. However, I want to try to be fair, and I know even though I don't like Raiden's inclusion in this game, I have done videos on the last, on Starfire and Black Mana, so I feel like I should just try to do it on all of them that are coming out. But, I'm not making any promises. I'm going to try to. We'll see what happens. Another thing I was going to mention, that they also confirmed that there is actually a premiere skin being worked on for a DLC character. I'm hoping it's Arkham Knight or Blackfire. Arkham Knight for Red Hood, Blackfire for Starfire. But I guess we'll see what happens. So yeah, I would definitely advise checking out Black Mana. I'm eventually going to get that review out that I keep saying I'm going to do eventually. And check out Mark Unard's channel in the description below. And, as I always say, another time, another place, keep being awesome!